What happens when an undercover boss walks into his own salon and overhears two stylists behind him? Let's dive into the story to find out. John Marshall was a man of hard work and humility. He had spent most of his life building his salon business from scratch. Starting with just one chair in a small room, John grew his venture into a chain of successful salons spread across the city. But as the business grew, he started feeling disconnected from what was happening on the ground. He missed the days when he would sweep the floors, chat with customers, and hear about their lives. Over time, John had heard whispers about some dissatisfaction among his staff. He tried to address it by speaking with the managers, but everything reported back to him seemed fine. Yet his gut told him there was more to the story. So he decided to go undercover. John disguised himself as a new trainee looking to learn about salon operations. With his beard trimmed down and glasses on, he looked nothing like the man whose name was on the signboard outside. He arrived one morning at the flagship branch of his salon chain and introduced himself as Mark, a beginner looking for hands-on training. The manager, Sam, welcomed him warmly and introduced him to the team. Two stylists, Rick and David, were tasked with showing Mark the ropes. Rick was chatty and energetic, with a knack for making customers laugh. David was quieter, but had a sharp eye for detail. As the day went on, John observed how they interacted with clients, noticing both their skill and how they made customers feel at home. But he also saw something else, an underlying tension between the two stylists. Later that afternoon, during a quiet moment, John sat in the corner, pretending to take notes on hair techniques. Rick and David were cleaning up a station nearby and talking in hushed tones. John wasn't trying to eavesdrop, but a few words caught his attention. "He doesn't care about us. It's all about the profits," Rick said. David responded, "Yeah, we're the ones keeping this place running. But does anyone ever notice?" "No, just more pressure, less appreciation." John's heart sank. He stayed still, listening as they continued. "I've thought about leaving," Rick confessed. "But I can't afford to right now, and the clients, they're the only reason I stay." David nodded. "Same, and then there's the favoritism. You know how some guys get promoted just because they suck up to the manager. It's not fair." John couldn't believe what he was hearing. These weren't complaints about workload or salary. It was deeper. They felt unvalued, unheard, and overlooked. The next day, John came back, more determined than ever to understand what was really going on. He worked alongside Rick and David, asking questions about their routines and challenges. At first, they were guarded, but eventually they opened up. Rick shared that he had been working at the salon for 5 years without a single promotion, even though his clients loved him. David revealed that he had once suggested a new scheduling system to help reduce staff burnout, but his idea was dismissed without a second thought. What struck John the most was how much they genuinely cared about the salon despite their frustrations. They weren't just there for a paycheck. They took pride in their work and wanted the salon to succeed. By the end of the week, John had seen enough. It was time to reveal who he really was. On Friday evening, after the salon closed, John called for a team meeting. The staff gathered in the break room, curious about the sudden announcement. John stood at the front and removed his glasses. "I have something important to share," he began. "My name isn't Mark. I'm John Marshall, the owner of this salon." The room fell silent. Rick and David exchanged shocked glances. John continued, "I went undercover this week because I wanted to see things from your perspective, and I've learned a lot, more than I ever could have from sitting in my office." He turned to Rick and David. "I overheard your conversation the other day, and I want to thank you for being honest. It opened my eyes to things I had overlooked, things I need to change." John then addressed the whole team. "You all are the heart of this business. Without you, there would be no clients, no success. I've realized that I haven't been doing enough to show my appreciation and to listen to your concerns." Tears welled up in Rick's eyes. "You mean, you heard us?" John replied, "and I'm grateful I did, because now I can make things right." John announced a series of changes. Regular staff meetings where everyone could voice their ideas, a transparent promotion system based on merit, and better support for work-life balance. He also introduced an employee recognition program to celebrate their hard work and achievements. Over the next few months, the atmosphere at the salon transformed. Rick was promoted to a senior stylist position, and David's scheduling system was implemented, making shifts more manageable for everyone. John made it a point to visit each branch regularly, not as a boss giving orders, but as a partner who listened. Rick and David's trust in the company was restored, and their passion for their work shone brighter than ever. Customers noticed the positive energy, and the salon's reputation soared. John learned an invaluable lesson. Success isn't just about growth and profits. It's about the people who make that success possible. And from that day forward, he vowed never to lose sight of what truly mattered. Sometimes, it takes stepping into someone else's shoes to see the bigger picture. And for John Marshall, that made all the difference. That's the story, friends. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a pleasure sharing it with you all. Don't forget to comment below and let me know where you're watching from. It's always fun to see the global reach of these stories. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button for more amazing stories, tips, and tricks. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. If you'd like to show some extra love, tap the 3 dots near the share button and send a super thanks.